Yo, what is up everybody? Prime Dice here again with another video, okay? And this video is going to blow your mind, okay? I know it blew my mind when I streamed yesterday and I showed everybody the power of ProtoPlague. I think that's what it's called, you know? But again, like any other video that I do with D4s, it's going to be a long video. You can skip to the front if you want and whatever, you know, after I give all the details of my gear and my strategy and everything, you know. But just stay there, you know. I need the watch hours, okay? I want to get monetized on YouTube. Hey, look, I'm just kidding with that, but for sure, just watch everything. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that was on my stream and witnessed this happen, right? I want to shout out as well Kings, because he was the one that actually was like, hey, let me look at your runes, you know. And then I found that I have Bonic rune, okay, and this rune actually made a huge difference, you know. But I will go over everything, you know. Again, in my last video that I talked about the new broken build, I forgot to mention special delivery as well when it comes to making this build happen and whatever. Aside from Athena, you know, that I mentioned her, whatever, but I didn't know special delivery was also working on this with Athena and all that stuff, you know. So hey, special, I do apologize, man. I hope that you can forgive me, you know. But but yeah, so let's go over my strategy and what I did to actually clear this dungeon, okay? Because it's going to be a crazy setup, okay? I'm going to run ProtoPlague, I think that's what it's called, okay? I'm really bad with names, just in case, you know. I'm gonna run ProtoPlague with only one familiar. I cleared this dungeon with the setup that you're looking at right now, and with Kimusawa. But hey, I know not everybody will have Kimusawa. He's not free to play friendly, so I'm gonna switch him, okay? And I will try and clear it with a different tank, and I'm going to use Bleeximum, right? Because Bleeximum, he's really good as well when it comes, he has barrier. The whole point about having that tank up front is for the barrier, okay? That's the only thing. So because remember, we're going to be really squishy, so if the enemy attacks, we need to stop those attacks so that way we don't die. As long as the ProtoPlague continue to proc and whatever, you will see, you know, it's going to be lengthy and whatever, you know, but it's just because of how the build is, okay? Right now there is a known issue that since it does a lot of procs and the damage, I need to calculate all the damage, all the heals, plus Clover on the top as well with the lucky stuff and everything, you know. So that is why it takes a long time sometimes in order for you to see the animations and the damage and do anything, okay? So that is a known issue. Hopefully they fix it and they don't nerf this set, because I'm loving this set. But anyway, I'm not going to go off on a tangent, otherwise this video is going to be 30 minutes long and whatever, you know. So my strategy, right, like we all do when we join I don't have max TS with the current setup. So what I do is that I get like a screenshot. So I have in this build right here, I have everything tier 21, everything, and over here it's tier 21 to include my Drakus for the TS. I only have this for the TS. I'm joining into the dungeon with this build, okay? So that way my familiars can benefit from the extra TS and whatever, okay? So the setup that I am running is this one, you know, Weedy, ProtoPlague, Clover, and Starweave. My Starweave and Clover is tier 20. My Weedy is still tier 19. The only pieces that I have tier 21 are the new sets, obviously, okay? So as I go into the video, I will tell you, because I don't know the name of the mobs or the bosses or whatever. I know Espanier and I know that's it, Espanier, because the other ones I forgot, you know, so whatever. So the ideal here is to be as quick as possible so you can begin to proc your 4/4 when it comes to ProtoPlague, okay? Obviously with Weedy, you are getting 50% chance to stack 2 hardwood whenever you hit an enemy, plus the ProtoPlague, you have another 50%. Okay, it's not that 50%, 50%, it's 100%. You know, no, it says you have two type of gears that are actually, you have a 50% chance in each to apply a stack of hardwood. Okay, obviously your clover is gonna help you out, and we got star weave just for the last set. I have the ring for ProtoPlague, but I don't have the materials to max it out, because obviously I will have even more TS, and maybe it would have been a little bit quicker, you know. So that's what I have right now. My total TS for this is the 93,837. Okay, for my runes, if you have dual strike, just put a dual strike. I'm gonna use dual strike here as well. And I got one speed rune for whenever I switch from power, from one of my agilities over to power. Okay, so this helps out a lot. Key rune that actually made a huge difference when it comes to clearing this dungeon is the Bonic rune. Okay, the Bonic rune helped out a lot, because every time you hit an enemy, you have a 5% chance to reduce their health by 6%. It makes it a lot quicker. Okay, this one I really don't have like any other thing for this one. And this one, whenever I get hit, I can ignore offensive bonus or whatever, you know. It's like whatever, because I don't have nothing else either. Okay, again, this build is, in a way, it's not like the best setup that I have. I mean, it's the only thing that I have, right? But if you have a better setup than me, maybe it will work even wonders with you. I just saw recently in the Discord that Zombie also tested it out. He also did it with Kimusawa and using this, but he has all his gear tier 21, you know. So I'm just waiting for him to actually reply and see if it was actually good or not, you know, if it's actually worth it. Okay, the pet, just because of the extra speed, you know, that's it. I was using Kog. Sometimes I use this setup as well for the heals. If I see that on my Kimusawa, well, in this case my Bleeximum is low health and whatever, I'm going to fight a mob, I can use Sarli just to get the heals in and whatever, you know. It's just in case. That's it, before using potions or whatever. Right now I'm gonna test it with Haley's supply. When I cleared it, I have Monarch's command. Okay, so I was just testing it out to see if the EMP chance is actually better or not, you know. So this one I have critical hit chance, so maybe the critical hit chance is also good, you know. So I'm gonna do a couple of runs with Haley's power supply and whatever, and if I feel that it's not working good how I want it to work, then I would just switch over to Monarch's command. Okay, my enchants, I have everything. Well, I have 3 empower, I have 2 dual strike, and I have 1 empower with lifesteal. Okay, this helps with the extra health and all that stuff, you know, like to get the heals and whatever, like the lifesteal. Okay, and that's it. That is my build, my setup, you know. That's all that you need to do. So for the snail, for the snail one, I forget the name. Okay, when we go on and when we fight it, I will actually tell you. And when we get into the mobs and whatever, I'm gonna tell you which one you need to look out for, because these runs are more based off RNG. Hopefully the brain of some mobs, they don't proc and they don't kill you, you know. Hopefully the barrier works as well. So it's just RNG, but it is doable. Okay, I'm gonna show you some things that I was doing in the runs as well. So in case if you die and you manage to stay alive, you can survive and everything. Okay, and then you will see it. Okay, that's that. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to get the screenshot and just have this build ready. Okay, so my Bleeximum. Oh wait, before just in case if you don't have Bleeximum, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you where to get them. So Bleeximum, you need Bleemax, right? Where do you get Bleemax? You can get Bleemax because I believe Bleemax is a schematic. It's a schematic, if I'm not mistaken. Bleemax, right? Yeah. Because for Bleemax, you will need Blem, and Blem obviously you can farm him and Oosmeyer, right? And then here, I believe you can get the Bleeximum schematic. That's one that you need, and you can also get the Bleemax schematic. Okay. So while you are farming for Blem, there's a chance that you can get a Bleeximum schematic and get Bleemax schematic. Okay, he's a dungeon familiar, you can get him. It will take you some runs and whatever, but you can get him. Jumkrax, I believe this one is from, yeah, he's just a mob in whatever tier this is, in Vinaco or whatever its name, in tier 13, you know, so you can get him in Viranaco. That's where you can get Jumkrax or whatever, Jumcax. Damn, that sounded so weird, right? Anyway, so after you craft him, then you need to get 3 Bleemax in order to craft 1 Bleeximum and 150 sandals. The most that you're going to, because this is a raid material, you know, so it's gonna take you a shit ton of runs for you to actually get the damn sandals, okay? And I believe the sandals is from, from this raid, if I'm not mistaken, from Usumi's, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I don't even remember. Yeah, from Usumi's, and this is what, tier 18. This is where you get the sandals, okay, from Usum's Olympian raid. That's in raid, obviously, you know. So that's how you get that familiar and whatever, you know. Let's look up, so you guys see what I have for Bleeximum, right? I have a redirect chance. That this is what I had on Kimusawa. When you get hit, to heal team and damage reduction while teammates are alive. You know, I don't know if this one is working because I don't have all my teammates. It's only going to be Bleeximum and myself, okay? I'm using Bleeximum because of the barrier. Kimusawa has 25% barrier. This one has 15% barrier. I believe that there are some pumps that you can also put barrier on him as well, you know. But with Kimusawa, I didn't have block chance, okay? With Kimusawa, I had the damage reduction because Kimusawa has innate damage reduction, right? So if this doesn't work for me, the block, then I would just switch over to some damage reduction and see if that helps out, okay? What else? And that's it. I believe right now Gooby is another one that has barrier, but that was an event familiar, so I don't know if you will be able to, if you have that schematic, then farm for Googie or Googie, whatever it's called. I mean, everybody calls him Googie, you know. So I know Bleeximum, Kimusawa, and Luxo from the New World boss are the 3 familiars that have barrier. You know, I'm not counting all the other ones from events, from expedition, all that stuff, you know, because face it, I mean, I'm trying to make this as free to play as possible, you know, at least for you guys and whatever. This build you need to have, before I forget, you need to have Weedy in order for this to work. If you don't have Weedy, it's gonna be a rough time for you, okay? Because we need those double 50%, you know, in order to stack hardwood. And the idea behind this is you stack hardwood and you continue to just attack them and whatever, you know. So let's get right into it. Let's do it's Martyrs Garden, right? Let's do this again. I only have Bleeximum, I only have myself, okay? I will show you, and I will let you know what you need to do. For example, I go in, I switch this off. So whenever you go in, just go in with auto. And as soon as it enters and it begins attacking, then just switch him off. So now that we have this here, I want to tell you something. This guy, he has augments, right? And his augments is attack the strongest enemy, if I'm not mistaken. This guy can kill you. You know, he can wipe you, he can kill you, and you will see it in the runs and whatever. The Sarbrin is also really, you also need to watch out for him, you know. Like, if everything works, you will kill all of them and you will have no problem whatsoever. But he hits the first enemy and bleeds, so he can kill you as well as a shark and whatever, you know. But this one is the one that you need to look out for. And there's another one as it goes on and whatever. I will show you, okay? I will slow down the video. So right now I'm just gonna fast forward the video, you know, so that way you guys are not waiting like forever for this to happen, you know, because sometimes you're gonna see it's gonna take a long time for you to clear these runs and whatever. See, these are his brains attacking. So whenever you click auto, just uncheck it, just in case if one of your if you die or your Bleeximum dies and whatever, you can revive him, okay? That's just worst case scenario, you know. If everything works good, this is how it should look like, okay? Again, whenever I get hit hard like this and whatever, it's because barrier is not proccing or it's not helping or whatever, you know. Or maybe I need the damage reduction so that way he's not taking too much damage, okay? So yeah, I'm just gonna mute myself, and I'm gonna fast forward, and when I see the other enemies and the other bosses and whatever, I will tell you what you need to do, what you need to use. Okay, so after this one, before I go, after this one, since my Bleeximum is low on health, I will switch over to my support pet, and I will use him just to get him maxed out and whatever in health or whatnot. So that way he doesn't die out, and I don't have to use a potion. Okay, so let's fast forward this until it's the next round. So that guy that just died, he's also one of the familiars that he has an attack brain or whatever, you know, that he hits hard and whatever, you know. So that's another one that you need to watch out for and whatnot. Otherwise, he can just wipe you, he can just kill you, you know. And from what I'm seeing, I think having Monarchs is going to be the best bet instead of Haley's power supply, you know. So I just wanted to test it out and see if it actually worked or not, you know. So right now I just attack, it's loading all the calculations and everything that I need to do. So that's why it takes forever, just because it's loading everything that is happening before you see the animation and all the crazy stuff and whatever, you know. So see, right now this is a really bad composition because you have the shark, Coloratrix, and he hits furthest enemy, right? These two hit furthest enemy, these two hit furthest enemy, you know. So everything needs to work in your favor, proc everything, and hopefully they will all die and they don't wipe you. And if they do manage to attack, hopefully, hopefully, I mean, they attack furthest, you know, so it's like whatever. So let's see how this goes. So this is the one that I'm talking about, Leftraru. So this one has an attack brain. Sometimes when you get paired with him, RNG is what takes its place right here, you know. Like if you manage to survive his hit or if you manage to kill him quick, then hey, kudos for you, you know. But if not, then hey, you just need to restart and do it all over again. Hopefully I don't die. So here is our first boss, right? So for this boss, what I was actually doing is switching Weedy over to power, just so I could do a lot of damage real quick and try to kill her first. Because sometimes with her, if she gets that attack in, she will just destroy you. You know, it's that simple. She will just destroy you, you know. Again, Haley power supply seems to be working. Again, if not, I would just switch it out or whatever, you know. But let's see how this run goes. Again, a really bad team composition. We got the 2 that has attack brain. We have this one attacks furthest. So the best way to kill the bosses is, you see how their health stay at 0 and they haven't recovered or anything like that. That's the best. I mean, that's something that happens with the game, you know. So if they can stay like that, see, this one revived again, so it's gonna be a little bit rough, you know, but that way we can focus all the attacks on the bosses and whatever, you know. Ideally, that's what we want, like all the enemies have like 0 HP and all the attacks goes to the boss and we can kill him quick, you know. And I died. You know why? Because the damn brain was procced from the green guy. The green guy can't kill me or whatever. But again, like I said, I'm gonna switch over to Monarchs because I really believe Monarchs is way better than this one. So let's try it again, but this time with Monarchs, and I'm gonna switch my pumps over to damage reduction instead of block to see if it's better. Okay, and again, we just rinse and repeat, and hopefully we get a lucky win, you know, so like a good run. So let's see. So now here is a different boss. Last time I killed him like this, you know, so let's see again. I don't have Kimusao or anything like that. Let's see what mobs I get with this boss, you know. I believe this boss is called Tomor. Okay, Tomor, yeah. Again, we got the green guy. So this is a really bad team composition. I mean, like this guy is just bad, to be honest, you know. See, that is what you want, that all of them stay with their health on 0, and the boss, you kill the boss and then they regain their health because your procs are still going, you know. Right now I have not attacked again, you know, their procs are still going from that other attack that I did whenever it was that I did it, you know. And that's the beauty of this, you know. That is the beauty of this. So I got one boss. I'm gonna try and kill a Spaniard. I know I haven't switched. I want to see it with a Spaniard. I can also do this, have high attack and try to kill them quick and whatever, and hopefully this works out, you know, so that way you guys can see a different version and see what works for you, you know, because at the end of the day, when you do D4s, it's all about testing and see what works, you know, and what doesn't work. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. That came in clutch, you know. So as well, there is a known issue as well that even when you die, you still stay alive. So that was a really lucky run. I wish that had happened to me. Um that is crazy. That is crazy. So it means that I kill all the bosses, I kill everybody in here, you know. That is just pure mental. That's crazy. What an ending, guys. What do you think about that? What an ending, you know. So sometimes that happens, that you die and you get an extra turn, like you revive for whatever reason, you know. But just comes to show you that it is possible. I didn't remember when I killed the third boss, to be honest. I thought I only killed two, you know. So what an ending. So just a recap, this setup worked better. Having Bleeximum up front, whatever, trying to delete the mobs real quick. Monarch worked way better than using Haley's power supply and whatever. You know, if you don't have Monarchs, if you don't have Haley's power supply, hey, just do it with what you have, you know, and just tweak your build until it works, you know. But yeah, what an ending, guys. You know, it's like I never expected that I was going to get that ending like that, you know. Just pure luck. That was the last mob, and talk about RNG, you know. I wish this happened whenever I was doing the runs yesterday when I was streaming live, you know. But hey, there you go. It is possible as well to do it with Bleeximum, you know. Again, special shout out to everybody that helped me, and all the people that were in my stream yesterday, Kings, telling me about the runes and me putting that Bonic on and whatever, you know. So that really came in clutch. Again, I was inspired by Athena and Special Delivery that help out with this, you know, and everybody else that gave me some pointers, you know. Hey, if I left you out, it's not that I forgot about you. I'm just really bad remembering some stuff and whatever, you know. Just feel free to comment down below your opinion on this build and to clear tier 20, you know. So now you have a setup, you have a guide and what to do in order to clear this dungeon, you know. And just to show you proof, I mean, you just saw it that I just cleared it, right? But just to show you proof, I have my little ring right here, you know, my Sacramentun. So I put in Subsidium Sacramentun. Okay, so yeah, guys, hopefully I didn't leave anything. I show you my familiar, I show you the runes that the augments that he had on, and the switch that I did as well. I showed you my build. I truly believe that with this setup, having at least 12k attacks, it's everything else like only one. Like, look, my weed is tier 19, okay, so and these two are tier 20. So if you have better gear than me, hey, it's gonna be way better for you, okay. Again, if you don't have a pet like mine or whatever, just test it out, see what works for you, okay. This build is free to play friendly, okay. Again, you don't need Star Weave, okay. You can get the 4 pieces of Proto, right, because the last piece of Proto is here. It's a tier 21 as well, you know. I use Star Weave just because, again, I don't have material to upgrade my last Proto piece, and it's just for it to give me the 4/4, you know. So you can use all 4 pieces of Proto. Clover, I mean, Clover tier 17. If you can up tier a little bit, Clover is king at the end of the day, and Witty is a must, you know. You don't even have to up tier Witty, you know. But I believe that this build is, in this setup, is free to play, you know. It's just gonna take you time, you know. You can test it out with a Clover tier 17. I think that's when you get Clover tier 17, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong, you know. But anyway, I really hope that you guys liked the video. I really hope that you enjoyed this damn ending, you know. And leave me comments down below. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see. I'm back in the groove into making Bit Heroes content and whatever, you know. So let me know what you guys need. I really hope that this guide actually helps you. I know it is a long video and whatever, but hey, I'm here for you. And stay safe, Bit Heroes family, okay? Let's get this now to tackle the tier 21 dungeon whenever I do that. So peace.